Hi friends, in this video we'll discuss sonnet number 130 by William Shakespeare. As we know, Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets. Sonnet 1 to 126 are dedicated to a young man and the others to a dark lady. Now there are some features of a Shakespearean sonnet. Shakespeare's sonnets are composed of 14 lines divided into 3 quatrains and a couplet at the end. It has 3 quatrains and 1 couplet. It has 14 lines written in iambic pentameter. The rhyme scheme followed is AB, AB, CD, CD, EF, EF and GG. It's also known as the English sonnet or the Elizabethan sonnet. The other form of sonnet is the Italian or Petrarchian sonnet, which is divided into 2 parts, an octave of 8 lines and a sestet of 6 lines. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun, or Sonnet 130. So friends, this sonnet is a satire on the concept of ideal beauty. Most of the poets compare their beloved to the objects found in nature or even with heavenly bodies, but Shakespeare avoids that. He doesn't exaggerate the beauty of the woman he loves. Let's look at the first 4 lines. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are dun. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. So the poet is saying, my mistress or my beloved. So here mistress means beloved or sweetheart. My mistress or my beloved's eyes are not as bright as the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. So we know that corals are the bones or remains of tiny sea creatures called polyps. They are found near the sea. These are red, pink or white, bright colors. So he says coral is redder or brighter than her lips. Her lips are not red like coral. Then her breasts are not as white as snow but of a dull brown color. Dun, D-U-N, dun means dull. And then if hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. She has curly black hair which is not smooth but like wires. The poet sounds rude on the surface. When we read this sonnet for the first time, we might think he's insulting her. So let's try to understand what he means. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Shakespeare likes her eyes but avoids false comparison. See, no human eyes can be bright as the sun. According to Shakespeare, when other poets say that, they are just lying. This line, coral is far more red than her lips red. Shakespeare is just trying to tell us that human beings don't have bright red lips like coral, as most writers or poets would want us to believe. So, his mistress has normal lips. Then, skin white as snow is also an exaggeration used by other poets. And to have curly black hair is quite normal. Many people have curly hair. Let's see the next lines. I have seen roses damasked red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks, and in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I have seen roses damasked. So the poet is saying, I have seen roses of different colors. Damasked means pattern or design, which is woven on fabric. But here it means roses with different patterns or different shades, or we can say a hybrid rose. So he says, I have seen red roses, white roses and pink roses, but my beloved's cheeks are not rosy. I don't see the color of rose on her cheeks. And in some perfumes is there more delight. Most perfumes give more delight, or perfumes smell better than her breath when she breathes. Okay. The poet again sounds rude here, but let's see these lines again. People generally don't have red rosy cheeks. So rose-like cheeks could be because of the makeup or the weather or when someone is blushing. But rose-like cheeks are rare, that exact color. So Shakespeare here again mocks at those poets who falsely compare their beloved's cheeks with roses. When people breathe, do they smell like perfume? Perfume will always smell better than a person's breath, of course. So Shakespeare is being quite honest here. It's normal for people to have breath which is unpleasant. We know it when someone breathes, they don't smell like perfumes. Further he says, I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground. When she speaks, the poet loves listening to her. He likes it when she talks, but he knows that the sound of music is more pleasing. Music sounds better than her voice. I grant I never saw a goddess go. I can say that I have never seen a goddess walk. When my mistress walks, she walks on the ground. She doesn't fly around like a goddess. She walks on the ground as a human would walk. Let's look at these lines again. I love to hear her speak. This doesn't mean that Shakespeare doesn't like her voice, but he's being honest and true. We know that music is better than human voice. The sound of music is always better than the sound of people talking. And then she doesn't look like a goddess. She doesn't walk like a goddess. Does that mean she's not beautiful or the poet doesn't love her? It simply means she's a human. So when some poets and writers compare their beloved to a goddess, that doesn't mean the beloved is actually a goddess. They are just making false and fake comparisons. And last two lines. And yet, by heaven, I think my love is rare, as any she belied with false compare. And yet I swear, I think my beloved is rare. Here love means beloved. She's rare as any she. Now, she here means a woman. As any woman, so she is rare as any woman who is told lies with false comparisons. So, poet's beloved is rare or special just as any other woman. The only difference is that the poet is not telling lies or using false comparisons, unlike what other poets are doing. So, other poets tell lies to their beloveds by comparing them with objects of nature such as rose, river, snow, the sun, the moon, the stars, and so on. In order to praise a woman, conventional poets are making exaggerated and ridiculous comparisons. But Shakespeare's love is true as he's not telling lies to her. He stays away from false praise. So when we understand Shakespeare's intentions, we realize that his feelings are genuine. He's only mocking at other poets, not at his beloved. His beloved is beautiful. She has human-like qualities and features. She's not supposed to be perfect, or she's not supposed to be like a goddess in order to be admired or loved.